Hello, friends. Welcome to my second installment of my weekly blog. I'd like to take this time to kick around some ideas for names. I've heard Free Talk with Freeman. I think I'm going to stick with that one. Let me know what you think. I'm going to be doing this on a weekly basis. However, with my schedule, I'm not going to be able to do it the same day every week, so please bear with me. I guarantee I will get them within 10 days of each other, though. So without any further ado, I'd like to go ahead and get started here. Alright, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to start with the fan participation, and we're going to start with a comment on last week's blog from BK Pelfrey, who is a good friend of mine. And I'm going to start with his question, which is, what was your favorite match to referee for SPW? Before I talk about my favorite match, I'd like to talk about my first match with SPW, which was at Uprising 2 at the Norfolk Scope. That would have been last year on May 26th. And this was a great event overall. We had Rikishi there, who was a great guy to be backstage with. Anybody who's been in this business for a long time, or for even more than a couple of years, is a great tool to learn from, because each person has something different to say, and it's all valuable. So if you ever get a chance to, hear some stories or get some advice from these guys, I would absolutely always listen to them and always soak it up. Rikishi, like I said, was a great guy to be backstage with. He had some great stories. He had some great advice for myself personally and for the group as a whole. I'd like to talk a little about my first match that I had reffed, which was a triple threat ladies match between Brittany Cole, the Dark Princess of SPW, and Samantha Shock, and Casey Carlisle. Now, being my first match, of course I had the butterflies that we all have when we're doing something new for the first time, especially on a stage in front of people. But it was a lot of fun. It was great. And I tell you, those three ladies had a lot of chemistry together. They worked really well together. And, I can't say enough about the talents of Brittany Cole and Samantha Shock. And Casey Carlisle, I've only worked with her once, but she was pretty skilled in the ring. So I'd like to give a quick shout out to them and thank them for being a part of my first match with SPW. Moving on to my favorite match, which I hate to just single one out, because I've been in there with so many great athletes. Pat Cusick, Marty Reed, Kevin Quill. I could go on. There's so many. Tremor, DBG, huge DBG fan here. He's a fantastic guy to work with. The Army of Two, the Cartel. Again, I could sit here and just name the roster of guys that are great to work with, but if I had to put a stamp on my favorite match, it would have to have been at the Warwick Recreation Center. I think it was last month or the month before, not 100% sure, but it was the Loose Cannon Eddie Cannon versus the Silver City Saint Sterling Williams. And let me tell you something, those two guys individually are phenomenal athletes. Eddie Cannon has not been with SPW very long. He has just got some pure, raw talent. And Sterling has been there a long time, and he has got pure, raw talent along with the experience. When those two guys met in the ring, it was phenomenal. I had the best seat in the house, and I could not have been more excited for that match. I believe if you go to Facebook, the Loose Cannon Eddie Cannon's Facebook page, I believe he has a clip posted of that match. If you get a chance to go out to Virginia Beach to the WrestlePlex and check out SPW, being sure to pick up some of their DVDs. Like I said, Uprising 2, I have to plug that because that's my first personal match refereeing. There's a lot of good ones, so definitely browse around and see what you're interested in, and hopefully they keep coming with some new ones. I don't have any kind of insight on that aspect of it. That's done by a completely separate group of people. I kind of got off topic there, didn't I? I'm sorry. My favorite match was Eddie Cannon versus Sterling Williams. Those guys are just a blast to work with. And now I'd like to try a new segment here on my blog. Dumbest ish I've heard all week. I'm going to start with this one that a lollipop company is making a new flavor of lollipop. And that new flavor of lollipop is breast milk. Who is this marketed towards? Who is the target audience? Because I cannot understand what marketing genius sat down and said, you know what, guys, we need to come up with a new flavor of lollipop. What about breast milk? Breast milk? That's brilliant, Bill! We'll make millions! I don't have words. I don't have words. That there is no person that should want the taste of breast milk. An artificial breast milk flavor. There is nobody that should want that. Just saying. That was the first on my list of dumbest ish I've heard all week. Next on my list of dumbest ish I've heard all week. Forgive me, I'm going to have to give you guys a little background on this one. There is a Facebook page for Joker's Harley and Harley's Joker. Any Batman fans, if you like Batman at all, if you even just like comic books and you're not sure about Batman, you absolutely have to like these two pages. Again, it is Joker's Harley and Harley's Joker. These two are phenomenal people who are excellent cosplayers. And apparently a comment was made towards Harley that she didn't have the body type to cosplay as Harley Quinn. And first of all, she is not a larger woman by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. She actually has a very good body type for Harley, first of all. Second of all, it really shouldn't matter that much. Now, I know I'm gonna start some sparks here with the purists, but the only thing that should matter in cosplaying is how much you love the character or the canon that you are cosplaying for, and how much time and effort you put into it. And let me tell you something, like you've got to check these pages out, because these Joker's Harley and Harley's Joker both put so much time and effort into their costumes. They look phenomenal. Especially the Joker. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here, but he looks like he came right off the comic book page. And it's phenomenal. And now I know you're going to say, but you just said you don't have to look like that. No. I think it's fine. It's actually great when you can look like you came right off the comic book page. What I'm saying is, if you don't have the exact body type, don't let that stop you. I'm actually going to read a quote here from Joker's Harley. Don't let anyone tell you or try to fix your body type because it's not good enough for your chosen cosplay character. And I don't think I could say it any better than that. You know, I see, people my size or even bigger in some of the best looking Iron Man suits, Stormtrooper outfits, Gears of War outfits, Master Chief outfits. This stuff looks like it cost thousands of dollars, and whether or not it did is irrelevant because it looks phenomenal. And whether or not they fit the body type of the character that they're playing as doesn't matter. If they have the time and effort and the love of the character, that is what's important, and that is what should be congratulated and said, wow, you are phenomenal, you've done a great job here. And I think that anybody who says any differently is just, I'm going to say it, they're just shallow, because it's about having fun. It's about loving comic books or video games, or loving the canon so much that you put, you put your heart into the costume. that's the second thing on dumbest ish I've heard all week, which is if you don't have the body type for a character, you can't cosplay as them. Actually, to tack onto that, I've actually cosplayed as The Undertaker. As you see, I'm short. You know, I'm not physically built anywhere near The Undertaker, but you know what? I had fun with it. I put a lot of work into that outfit. And, you know, I think if I do it again, I'm going to put more work into it because I'd like to do the eyeliner and maybe even see if I can get like some sort of temporary tattoo or something. You know, I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm going to have a great time, and I'm going to put energy and effort into it. And that, once again, that is what matters. And that is what should be congratulated and commended. So any cosplayers out there, don't let anyone tell you, oh, you don't look like that character, so you can't cosplay as them. No. Screw that. And you show how much you love that character. Alright, and top of our list for dumbest ish I've heard all week is this one. You may want to sit down for this one. I'm sure we've all heard of Jordan Vandersloot, the chief suspect in the Natalie Holloway disappearance. And I'd actually like to take this time, before I go any further, to have a moment of silence for Natalie Holloway. For about 15 seconds if you want to skip ahead. But I'd like to take a moment of silence in memory of Natalie Holloway and all other victims of these terrible crimes. Alright, thank you. So, Jordan Vandersloot, we all know what he did. He's a convicted murderer. And that is not even the Natalie Holloway case. That is another case that he got convicted for. So, some of you may have heard this already, but apparently, he is getting married. Forgive me, I'm just a little upset at this. I didn't read the article, so I don't know any details. You know, if anybody wants to fill me in or correct me, you know, anything, you know, with some facts in the comments, feel free, go right ahead. But I couldn't read the article. I couldn't, because I would have just become so enraged and depressed that I would have probably cut myself. He's getting married. A convicted murderer and chief suspect in the disappearance of a beautiful young woman whose life was cut short. Sorry, I'm trying not to get angry here. Okay. Jordan Vandersloot is getting married. That means there is somebody who is either willing to or wants to marry a convicted murderer. I don't know if they understand what that means. Maybe they're just mentally ill. When the preacher says, "Till death do us," yeah, that's not going to be very long with this guy. You know, and yeah, I'm probably gonna catch some heat for making a joke, but it really isn't even a joke. You know, am I laughing? Am I smiling? No, because this is ridiculous. Even if it's not love that they're getting married for, I don't care what the reason is. You are willing to marry a man who is a convicted murderer, and God knows how many other people that have disappeared because of him. You know, only he knows that. So, to make a long story short here, so for any of you out there who, like me, are single and quite honestly fed up with being single and tired of looking, just remember there is somebody for everybody. Because even Jordan Vandersloot is getting married. And I'm sorry, I almost cursed there. I'm trying to keep this PG. So excuse me, I almost lost it for a second there. So, there's your top 3 stories and the dumbest ish I've heard all week. So that concludes Free Talk with Freeman for this week. I'd like to thank you for joining me and listening to what I have to say. Please follow me on Twitter at Darth Siege, and follow me on Facebook. The link is on my main YouTube page. Please subscribe, and any suggestions you have for next week's blog, you can tweet them to me, or you can leave them in the comment section below. And I'm going to leave you here with a quote from Joey Mercury off the CM Punk Best in the World DVD. Yes, I do talk a lot about wrestling. It's because I am a fan of wrestling, and that I talk about the things I'm passionate about. That's the point of the blog. So, Joey Mercury, quoting, was talking to CM Punk, and he said, "Remember, you can't change anything from your couch." So, you know what? If there's something you want to make a change on, there's something you want to do, you can't do it from your couch. This has been Free Talk with Freeman. Stay frosty, my friends.